This is Charlie Kao with TravelMole Media Group in Barcelona at the Airline Travel Payment Summit with Michel Leger, who has great title and job of Executive VP Innovation.
Absolutely.
And with Ingenico. Michel, tell us about Ingenico first.
So first, Ingenico is the company, the world leader in payment acceptance. Whatever the channels are. So we're in face-to-face payment from the beginning of the company 36 years ago, but also now on the internet payment, on the e-commerce side of the payment acceptance, and also bridging these two worlds together and creating cross-channel experience between the internet and the face-to-face in shops.
Although 6 years may sound like, fairly newcomer, you came on board and acquired many established payment companies.
Absolutely, we acquired two key companies for us in the e-commerce side of the business. First, we acquired Ogon out of Brussels, and also Global Collect out of Amsterdam to be a key player now on the internet payment. It was a way for us to speed up our development, and we actually put all of these assets together with some of these existing Ingenico assets that we got in e-commerce to create the e-payment division of Ingenico, which now represents 30% of our revenue.
Which is, you're pretty big size.
Last year, 2.2 billion in 2015.
And a third of that is from the payment side.
A third of that is from the internet payment, and 70% is face-to-face payment, which is mainly POSs and services and transaction services.
Point of sales, POS.
Point of sales, that we're
the card reader machine.
Card reader machines and solution in shops, face-to-face shops.
Innovation-wise,
yes.
You were just first telling me something that, and you have the credit card in your hand.
Yes.
What is it?
Near field communication.
Near field communications. Could you hold up that card?
Sure.
Covering your credit card number? And show the two symbols here. You have the chip.
So we've got the chip on one side, on the symbol for the contactless, which is the NFC technology used on the card. So basically, you can access the credential on the card, either sliding your card in a machine that read the contact side of the card, or you can just tap, on a reader through the contactless part of the card to access the credential on the card.
Kind of a wireless
yes
situation. And what applications have Ingenico and Michel been thinking about innovating for using the new near field communications technology?
So first, this technology are used in the card, but they're also used in smartphones. So that's basically the technology used by Apple for Apple Pay, by Google for Google Pay, or Samsung for Samsung Pay. So basically, wherever you can accept this contactless payment, you can use your card on your smartphone. What we're looking at now for us, it's really to integrate contactless payment in any kind of connected devices. Everybody's talking about the Internet of Things. We're going to get a lot of smart connected devices that we can interact with moving forward. And our objective is to integrate secure payment in all of these kind of devices, so to provide new interesting use cases for the consumer to use their card or their smartphone. So the first one that we work on is digital signage. So all the screen that you see in subway, airport, train station, hotels, or whatever. There's a lot of
the advertising.
Yeah, advertising that today just send an ad, and it's just a one way, no way to interact with the consumer. So we actually developed a technology which allow you to put in a couple of these antennas and readers invisible in the screen. So now you can tap your card on the screen to either buy something, get a coupon. You can even tap, any kind of NFC product. My passport is actually NFC, so I can even tap my passport to get a coupon on the screen.
Well, the passports are a near-field communications as well.
Absolutely. So, as an example, you could arrive in an airport, tap the screen with your passport, and get all the information about your flight. And at the same time, you could have an ad for a coupon to get a 10% off on the duty-free, shop, or 10% off on the coffee or something in the airport. So you tap your card or your passport or your smartphone, get the coupon, and as you go in the duty-free, we recognize you because you tap your card again, to pay for whatever you bought, and then we can redeem automatically the 10% you got, from tapping your card on the screen.
So my interaction with that electronic advertisement, whether it be for coupon, purchase information, when I go to that merchant outlet and tap using that same card or passport, they already know that I registered or purchased.
Absolutely, because we tokenize the information that you put on the screen, so we can recognize you as you tap your same credential on the POS somewhere in the shop or another screen or whatever device that accept our contactless technology. So it can be used also to buy a ticket. If you got this kind of screen in the hotel, in the lobby of the hotel, and you see an ad for, a specific museum that you love to go to, you could buy actually the ticket directly tapping your card on the screen. And when you reach the museum, you tap your card again on the POS, on the Ingenico POS, you are recognized, and you get in. Very easy, seamless experience for somebody who would like to go to this museum.
Let's go back to less exciting realities of the current state of e-commerce payment solutions, which represent 30% of what you're doing, and I presume growing leaps and bounds. So when we talk about e-commerce, we're talking generally about credit card payment processing,
mainly
debit cards, processing that payment, checking for fraud, etc., etc. What in that etc., etc. are the current challenges and innovations?
So on the e-commerce is exactly the same than face to face. The challenges are really to meet consumer expectation. On how this social trend changed the consumer expectation on the consumer experience. Now consumer expect to be cross-channel. For them, purchasing is one single experience, so you have to be able to go with them to, wherever they start the transaction, wherever they finish the transaction, and that's where cross-channel for us, how to bridge all these technologies together are very important, so you can follow up a consumer that's starting to purchase on the web, finishing their purchase in a store, or vice versa, buying something in a store and redeeming something on the web. All these click and collect, store to web, web to store, drive to store kind of technology use cases are something you have to be able to provide to your consumer, and that's why we work on all the different channels, whether they're internet, whether in face-to-face, or now with this digital screen, it's another channel to be able to provide one single purchasing experience for the consumer.
Why am I experiencing purchasing travel online with airlines, but even more so in particular with railroad companies like the French railroad or the Spanish railroad companies, where it seems like their payment acceptance is limited. Meaning like they don't accept cards from all countries. You get rejections all the time, and they bounce you off, or you need to try again or contact customer support in this day and age.
Yeah, I think if you look at it from an e-commerce standpoint, Obviously, because in payment on internet grew, extremely fast in the first couple of years. So, the focus has been on security and fraud management, which pushed, most of the players to reject a lot of transactions because of the risk associated to this, transaction. Where innovation is coming into the play is really to really bring more security while, improving the conversion. So how the smarter you can be on how you manage fraud, manage all the data, all the profile that you can imagine, the better you are off on that. How you're going to bring more good consumer experience, accepting all kind of payment means. As an example, for Ingenico, we accept more than between 100 and 150 different payment means on the internet. So basically, we can accept any kind of card in the world. So now we need to integrate with our customers,
Well, that's why I was asking, It's like here you are in France and the French rail. Come on, It's like when are they going to get on with it?
And that's exactly where we definitely help them to move faster because we bring the trust that is required for them to accept all this means of payment. So you'll see that moving up quite fast now.
In USA, all the credit card companies converted to smart chips. And the big talk is like, okay, so now it's more difficult for the cafe store to take a photo of your card and sell it out in the street with the chip. So that pushes everybody to the internet. In these recent months, have there been like a big upswing in internet fraud from U.S. as a result of this shift?
We don't see a big increase in terms of fraud. Obviously, U.S. has concentrated a lot of the fraud because U.S. didn't move to EMV. So that's where a lot of frauders were using the data they were stealing. Everywhere they could use it in the U.S. So now that the U.S. is moving to EMV, it's going to reduce significantly the level of fraud in the U.S. So we are getting also smarter and smarter how we can fight with all these frauders, and definitely the move to EMV is going to change the game quite significantly.
Michel Leger, Ingenico, Executive VP of Innovation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.